Godzilla vs. the Punisher. Who will survive the carnage? Hey there, folks. Ever wondered what would happen if the colossal king of the monsters squared off against the most relentless vigilante in the Marvel Universe? Yeah, we're talking Godzilla vs. the Punisher. It's a wild matchup that pits raw, unstoppable force against tactical brilliance and sheer determination. Who would survive the carnage? Buckle up, cuz we're diving headfirst into this epic showdown. So, here's the game plan. We're gonna break down the strengths, weaknesses, and possible strategies of both Godzilla and the Punisher. We'll explore how this insane battle could play out and who might just come out on top. And of course, we want to hear from you, so get ready to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this started. The king of the monsters, Godzilla. First up, let's talk about the big guy himself, Godzilla. Born from the imagination of Japanese filmmakers in 1954, he was originally a metaphor for the devastating power of nuclear weapons, a response to the horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Over the decades, Godzilla has evolved from a destructive force of nature to sometimes even a defender of humanity. He's starred in over 30 films, battling everything from giant moths to alien dragons. Now, let's get into his stats. Godzilla is an absolute titan, towering up to 400 feet tall in some movies and weighing mind-boggling amounts. His skin? Nearly indestructible. Missiles, bombs, artillery, they all just bounce off him like rubber balls. Plus, he's got regenerative abilities that let him heal from wounds that would be fatal to others. And that's not all. Godzilla's got some serious firepower, literally. His signature move is his atomic breath, a beam of concentrated radiation that can obliterate buildings and rival kaiju in a single blast. He's got a nuclear pulse, allowing him to release massive bursts of energy from his body. Being amphibious, he's just as deadly underwater as he is on land. Godzilla's list of accomplishments is as long as his tail. He's taken down King Ghidorah, a three-headed space dragon hell-bent on Earth's destruction, and defeated Mechagodzilla, his robotic counterpart equipped with an arsenal designed specifically to kill him. He's survived nuclear explosions, volcanic eruptions, and even being frozen for years. But even this king has his Achilles heel. Godzilla has been vulnerable to certain weapons, like the oxygen destroyer, a device that disintegrates oxygen atoms and was specifically created to stop him. Sometimes, he can be lured into traps due to his size and predictable patterns. The vigilante, the Punisher. Now, shifting gears to the gritty streets, let's talk about Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. After witnessing the brutal murder of his family during a mob shootout, this former Marine Corps scout sniper decided to take justice into his own hands. He's not your friendly neighborhood vigilante, he's a one-man army on a mission to eradicate crime by any means necessary. Physically, Frank is at peak human condition. Years of military training have honed his strength, speed, and stamina to the highest levels. He's a master martial artist, skilled in various forms of hand-to-hand combat, and can hold his own against multiple opponents simultaneously. But where Frank truly excels is in his skills and expertise. He's a tactical genius, able to assess situations quickly and adapt on the fly. His military background endowed him with extensive knowledge of weapons, explosives, and guerrilla warfare tactics. The Punisher's arsenal is nothing short of impressive. From handguns and assault rifles to rocket launchers and specialized explosives, if it can be used in combat, he's probably got one stashed somewhere. He wears body armor emblazoned with his iconic skull symbol, both a means of protection and psychological warfare. Frank has taken down entire criminal organizations single-handedly. He's gone toe-to-toe with superhumans and even outmaneuvered superheroes like Spider-Man and Daredevil. His tenacity is legendary. He's survived being shot, stabbed, beaten, and has come back swinging every time. But let's keep it real, Frank is human. He doesn't have superpowers or healing factors. He's susceptible to injury, fatigue, and the limitations of the human body. Operating outside the law, he doesn't have official support and often finds himself up against not just criminals, but law enforcement and other heroes. The hypothetical showdown. Alright, let's crank up the imagination. Picture this. Godzilla emerges from the depths of the Pacific Ocean, his massive form causing tidal waves that crash into the shores of San Francisco. The city is thrown into chaos as evacuation orders are issued. Meanwhile, the Punisher is in town, tracking a notorious criminal syndicate smuggling dangerous weapons through the port. He's deep undercover, But when news of Godzilla's arrival breaks, he realizes the city is on the brink of destruction. Frank views Godzilla not just as a monster, but as the ultimate threat to innocent lives, and that's something he can't ignore. His moral code and sense of duty compel him to act. Despite knowing he's up against a literal force of nature, he decides to stand his ground. The city becomes a battleground like no other. Skyscrapers crumble under Godzilla's footsteps, bridges collapse, and the power grid fails, plunging entire districts into darkness. Rain pours down as a thunderstorm rolls in, lightning illuminating the silhouette of Godzilla against the night sky. Strategy and tactics. So, how does one man take on a monster the size of a skyscraper? Frank knows a direct assault is suicide. He starts by gathering intel, hacking into military databases, and analyzing Godzilla's previous attacks. He looks for patterns, weaknesses, anything he can exploit. Godzilla, on the other hand, is driven by primal instincts or sometimes a mysterious purpose, depending on the storyline. To him, the Punisher is less than an annoyance, barely noticeable amidst the chaos. Could the Punisher get some backup? Maybe. He might coordinate with local law enforcement or emergency services to aid in evacuation efforts. Perhaps he even teams up with other vigilantes or sympathetic heroes who are in the vicinity. Frank would use every inch of the city to his advantage. He could set up ambush points, use the subway system to move undetected, and employ hit-and-run tactics. He might use high-rise buildings for sniper positions, aiming for Godzilla's eyes or other sensitive areas. Battle analysis. Godzilla's strengths are pretty obvious. He has unparalleled destructive power, capable of leveling cities with ease. His atomic breath and nuclear pulse give him ranged attacks that can obliterate almost anything. Frank's strengths lie in his tactical genius and unyielding determination. He's adaptable, resourceful, and doesn't hesitate to make hard decisions. His understanding of warfare, explosives, and urban combat give him a unique advantage in utilizing the environment against a larger foe. Godzilla can be somewhat predictable, following instinctual patterns that could be exploited. His immense size, while an advantage, also makes subtlety impossible. Frank is, after all, only human. His weapons, while deadly against other humans, are mostly ineffective against a creature like Godzilla. His susceptibility to injury and fatigue is a significant disadvantage. One wrong move, and it could be game over. So, what's the likely result of this clash? Realistically, the Punisher isn't going to kill Godzilla with bullets and bombs. However, he could achieve a moral victory by saving lives. Fan perspectives and theoretical discussions. Let's dive into some fan theories. Many fans believe that the Punisher's only chance would be to acquire some serious firepower. We're talking experimental weapons or even technology from other superheroes. Considering we're blending the Marvel universe with the world of Godzilla, there's a lot of room for creative liberties. If we bring in elements like S.H.I.E.L.D., advanced tech, or even other heroes, the dynamics change drastically. Conclusion. So, we've taken a deep dive into the strengths, weaknesses, and tactics of both Godzilla and the Punisher. On one side, we've got an indestructible giant with the power to decimate cities. On the other, a relentless vigilante with unmatched determination and tactical prowess. In the end, while the Punisher might not be able to take down Godzilla physically, his actions could still be pivotal. It's a testament to human resilience and ingenuity in the face of insurmountable odds. Now it's your turn. Who do you think would come out on top in this epic encounter? Do you believe the Punisher could find a way to beat Godzilla, or is the king of the monsters just too mighty to overcome? Got any wild theories or alternate scenarios? Drop them in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride. If you had a blast, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more epic face-offs and awesome content. We've got some amazing videos lined up, like Batman vs. Darth Vader. You won't want to miss it.